Hello and welcome to my video guide to Relinquished. Oh, this is MakeLord, by the way, I forgot to say. But yeah, this is my new video about Relinquished. Why am I talking about Relinquished? Well, because there is a new structure deck that just came out, as well as a new skill for Pegasus that aims to support a Relinquished-centric deck. Basically, what the new skill does is, if you control Thousand Eyes Idol, I know this seems like a tall order, but it's not that big of a deal, actually. You can use one of the following effects once per turn. You return one card from the hand to your deck, and then you set one Black Illusion Ritual or one Polymerization to the field from your deck, which you have to play in your deck. And then you can add one Relinquished monster to your hand from the deck, so you can instantly make a Relinquished or Thousand Eyes Restrict. Or maybe, no, not Millennium Eyes. Never mind. Or you return one monster from your hand or the field to the deck, and then you play Bikuri Box from the extra deck. Okay, this second part, completely irrelevant. And the first part, basically free Relinquished, it's tempting, to say the least. But what's Relinquished? Relinquished is like an archetype of three main monsters that I think they're all called Sacrifice in Japanese. So the OJ Relinquished is Sacrifice, this is Southern Eyes Sacrificed, and Millennium Eyes Sacrificed. I'm just gonna call them all Relinquished, because who cares? The OJ Relinquished has been in the game for a very long time, was pretty meta-relevant in 2016, but it mostly just fell off, and though you do get an easy bridge to summon it, you're probably going to focus your attention on more relevant monsters. All this one does is target a monster to steal it and gain its stats, and if it would take battle damage, your opponent also take the battle damage, which is not the most relevant effect. Thousand Eyes Restrict, on the other hand, historically very good in a TCG, banned for a very long time, mostly because it was a metamorphosis target with scapegoats. Meaning you could distribute a level 1 token to summon this guy instantly, and Instant Fusion, which also summons it from the extra deck without having to use Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Idol, which is a bit more convoluted. But this one gets to also steal a monster. It has this floodgate effect of not allowing other monsters to attack or change their battle position. And that's it. That's what it does. But it still was like, I understand that this one was pretty good in slower formats, but you know, I think we're past that point. And last but not least, Millennium Eyes Restrict, which actually has been in the game since December 2019. This one is the only one with the quick effect possibility of stealing a monster your opponent controls, but only in response to a monster effect being activated from your opponent, whether it's on the field or in the hand. Doesn't really matter, you still get to steal an effect monster your opponent controls, which is pretty nice. What else can be said about this card? Oh yeah, it negates the effect of monsters with the same name as this one. For instance, if your opponent normal summons Lady Debug, activates the effect, you can chain Millennium Eyes Restrict, steal the Lady Debug, and the Lady Debug won't resolve. You can also steal a monster from the graveyard. So if, say, what's the most relevant example I could give? So if someone normal summons Salmon Great Foxy, activates the effect, and they have the Foxy Engrave, you can steal the Foxy Engrave, equip it to Millennium Eyes Restrict, and the Foxy itself will not resolve. So this is a pretty good way to neuter monster effects. Also prevents monsters with the same name as the one equipped from attacking, which I think is also pretty relevant. This is definitely kind of a cool card that I like, sort of. Also have more spooky monster support. We have Golden Eyes Idol, which becomes Thousand Eyes Idol thanks to its effect when it's on the field that lets you look at your opponent's hand, which is very silly. It's a quick effect too, so you don't even have to activate it on your turn. You can activate it anytime during your opponent's turn. And if it's used as fusion or ritual material, or just sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you get to equip instantly a monster on the field to a relinquished monster you control. Basically was designed with the idea that you stick this guy on the board and then you... what if the archetype had a quick play fusion spell that you could use this with? Oh, this would be really interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, they do. Millennium Eyes Restrict is also a pretty good card. This one can instantly steal any monster on the field at quick effect speed, which is also pretty good. And basically works very well with Thousand Eyes Restrict. No, this one is just nice. Also, it recycles itself if you summon a Relinquished Monster, which is insane. I like this one a lot, and definitely 3 of material. And last but not least, Relinquished Fusion, which is a quick play spell that works with the aforementioned Gondolized Idol to disrupt your opponents on their turn, which is insane. It also can banish itself in order to equip a monster on the opponent's side of the field to your monster, but only during your main phase, so no graveyard shenanigans on your opponent's turn, which I guess is fine. Other cards that you might want to be worth other cards that you might want to consider: Thousand Eyes Idol, which is the OG guy. It's not really impressive, but it does work with like Unexpected Die, Enchanting Fitting Room if you wanna play Zerth in your deck. And Mystic Piper, which is level 1 spellcaster, so you can play it. You can tribute itself to draw you a card, and if it's a level 1 normal, if it's a normal 1 monster, level 1 monster, Jesus Christ, I'm not very in it today. If it's a level 1 monster, you get to draw another card. So this basically cycles for a card at worst by hitting your normal, and at best it's like a +1. Is it good enough to play? I don't know. This is my tentative deck list. I'm not sure if I'm gonna build this deck. It's actually like pretty cheap to make. You basically need 3 of the structures, a couple of like drops, 2 MSTs, Econ is free, and Crackdown. Basically the idea with those is you want to steal monsters to use as materials for Relinquished Fusion to get a Millenniumized Restrict. And the rest of the deck is just that. It's just what it does. Yep. You make Relinquished or a Fusion guy turn 1, and if you have Millenniumized Illusionist, you can steal a guy, and if you don't, you don't. That's it. Is that good? Stealing guys is pretty cool. It's really cool. There's some like resource looping in it that you can use. Thousand Eyes Restrict. Some people are not gonna read it and try to beat over it, and they can't. But also, like, the deck is, it's a one-trick pony. You're putting all your eggs in one basket, which is what I wrote, and it loses to so much disruption. Forbidden Chalice kind of neuters the deck. Book of Moon neuters the deck. Monster Effect Negation neuters the deck. In a way, even Spell Trap Negation destroys the deck. The game plan is not like very impressive. It is annoying, but it's not like impossible to deal with. And you also cut from a lot of like good support that you should be normally able to play, such as the Manju of the Thousand Hands, Senju, ritual supporters, also the Jin releasers, including the one that protects your Relinquished from being targeted, which would be a very relevant effect. That is, if you play the skill. I guess there is a version where you don't play the skill, but this version has been available for a while and not really doing anything. And I guess you can kind of break, but I'm not sure if that is that relevant. Also, what the fuck is, like, why would you ever summon Bikuri Box? What's that part of the skill? Doesn't make any sense. She's paying money on structure deck? I don't think so. Probably not this early, actually. If you wanna, if you're in for like casual and you really like Relinquished, I know I do. You could just play this deck casually and have fun with it and try to craft something that's better than what I offer you in this very day. I don't think the deck is going to be that competitive. I'm welcome to being proven wrong. I have been in the past. I'm very stupid and make a lot of mistakes, but also it's just too gimmicky to really work, in my opinion, and unless there's something huge that I'm missing, I don't think this one is going to be like very good. You're gonna see probably a lot of videos from the usual suspects being like, "Wow, I went 10-0 with Relinquished, this is such a great deck," and you know, their replays are at platinum and you should probably not trust them. I'm being so mean today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. As you can definitely tell, this one was made in a rush. Basically, I just saw the structure deck. I cobbled this guy together in like 15 minutes and decided to just give my viewpoint over this whole affair in a way that I think and I hope is informative and can help you make you, the customer, an informed decision before purchasing this deck. This being said, the next videos are definitely going to be more worked on, more research going into them, and I hope you'll stick around for them. I hope you like this video, despite its very poor quality. If you did, say something nice. If you didn't, say something mean. And either way, I will see you next time.